too long between meetings.
Yeah, but the fight right before that was well worth it. That was pretty vicious.
Yeah, I got a link to a Chinese site and no buffering whatsoever on that whole fight, all night.
Did you do that?
That Chiefs fan page,
Really?
where you get over, you can watch the game every time.
Well, I heard on the radio that day that
Some
there
guy,
could be like 2.8 billion people watching this.
some guy in China always posts the link for the Chiefs games.
At 6 o'clock, I'd like to bring the meeting to order, thank you. We'll start with a roll call. Mindy?
Gravel,
Here.
Zuckenbach,
Here.
Solomon,
Here.
Kendall,
Here.
Here.
Okay, for information that anybody may not already know, Councilman Dan Donham had resigned again. He's no longer with the city. With that, I'd like to move forward with, everybody will stand, face the flag. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Robert?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Pastor Dave, would you please step up? Everybody stay standing. We'd like to say prayer on behalf of City Council and over the city, please.
Lord, we're just so grateful that you are a good, righteous, and just God. We thank you so much for those you have appointed to these positions in our city. Father, we just pray that you would bless this time, not only the discussion, but all the business that occurs. I pray, Lord, the discernment that you've given each of these individuals, Lord, would just manifest itself as they go over the business of the city. I pray over those who are going to be hired, those who are going to be sworn in, Lord, just be glorified in all of it. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you very much, sir. With a vacant chair, the next point of business is going to be appointing a new council member. Okay, this new council member, with no objection from the council, I would like to award it and nominate Connie Capps. Very good. Connie Capps, I'd like to appoint you as the new city council. If you'd stand up, please. Mindy Sear will swear you in, and we would ask you to take your chair next to John Weirs and Michael Hemphill.
I, Connie Capps,
Yes,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of council member.
and faithfully discharge the duties of the council member.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please have a chair. Thank you. Moving down the agenda would start with number 1, the approval of the October 28th minutes. I would entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve the October 28th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Clerk report.
Let's see, total income was $99,512.97. Total vouchers were $75,158.40. Guys have any questions over the?
Council? Questions regarding? Okay.
Motion to approve vouchers in the amount of $75,158.40.
I'll second.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, we approve.
I would like to take some, the sewer fund has about 236,000. I would like to take about 100,000 across the street to First Option. They have a 3-month CD at 4.45%.
What are we currently earning?
That's just checking, so minimal. The money market that we have the other money in is 1.5. Their
Okay.
money market is 3.75.
There's 3 dividends that go with this, not just 100,000, but there's 2 other accounts that we have, excess in. As we come to the end of the year, it would be a good place to put it at 4.5%, or we can get to it in 90 days. You know what, we get the benefit of the interest, and the dividends are however long we remain to leave it in the CDs. So, in order for her to do that, what the city has to do is the city will have to appoint her treasurer in the meeting tonight. So what that does is that'll officially remove Karen from county obligation also, and it will appoint Mindy as our official treasurer. So, which is what city clerks do, and also what Karen done for us. So, first thing, probably,
I would make a motion that we appoint Mindy Sear to be our treasurer.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mindy,
She can do that as a-
go ahead and draft, no, she just has to draft a letter. It has to be publicly recognized and in our minutes, and she'll submit it.
Do we need a motion to allow her to move that 100K?
Let's go ahead and get the treasurer responsibilities done first, and
Okay.
once she's officially been named, once she officially turns into our treasurer, then what we'll do is we'll obligate her and give her that permission, because we're looking at 100,000 times 3 is what we're looking at. We've got several accounts that's carrying a lot of funds right now, and it's only the way we collect. It has nothing to do with how we're spending our money, it's how we collect our money. Example being our fire truck fund, our 1 cent was coming in through our highway department fund. So see, it's just how these funds come in and go into the account. So, and as you look at your treasurer's report, you'll notice that all that money's accounted for, you know, that she was just discussing. So, and for Connie, if you have any questions, I'd be more than glad to spend time with you to help you understand,
Okay.
you know, kind of the unique dynamics of a small city and kind of how she operates. Okay, any other questions regarding this? Jamie, did you find anything as far as legal, as far as transfer of funds and utilizing the CDs?
No.
Thank you.
No issue.
Okay. All right, next step we have here this evening is that we had run an advertisement for an assistant city clerk. I believe the official title, we're gonna call her administrative clerk. It'll be the official title. But that person was Lisa Becraft. Lisa, would you stand up and I'll introduce you. Lisa, this is John Weirs, Connie Capps, Michael, if you don't know, Lou, if you don't know, Robert, Michael, Corey, and the attorney, James Brown.
I'm Richard.
Richard? These are expensive mistakes. Thank you, Richard. Yeah. And with that being said, what I need from the city is that we're gonna bring her on at $12.75 per hour, okay, with a 90-day evaluation period, and also a 12-month evaluation period. You know, with that being said, I need a motion from the council to allow me to to hire Lisa.
Motion to approve for the mayor to hire Lisa Beecraft as the assistant city clerk,
Administrative.
administrative clerk,
At $12.75 an hour.
at $12.75 an hour with a 90-day and 12-month review period
As a full-time employee.
as a full-time employee.
Need a second?
I'll
And I
say,
was-
sorry, John,
Any conversation?
I got it.
All in
So you
favor?
know the two people to blame.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
And just so everybody
Lisa?
knows.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the crew, and she starts tomorrow, by the way, to add that to her.
Do it right in the fire.
She starts tomorrow, which is good timing because Mindy has a coma tomorrow. That, it'll be able to put them fresh on their minds. So, all right, with that being said, okay,
Congratulations.
And just so everybody knows, we're not hiring a new position. She's just taking Mindy's old spot, and Mindy
Yeah.
took.
yeah.
the other.
First off, it is in the budget, well under the budget at this particular point in time. Okay, number one. Number two, we can't get sick and we can't take vacation up there hardly that we can get anything consistently done. There's 40 people a day that comes in for that door. There's 40 people a day plus phone calls. So as we're trying to keep things running and accommodate and everything, you know, we can't get people been sick and we've covered, but we have nobody had the opportunity to take vacations. So this is our opportunity for everybody to maybe
So
get a
can
day.
we swear her in before she runs away?
She doesn't get to swear
Oh,
in.
she
She's,
doesn't?
no, she won't be, she will not be, we won't swear her in right now. She's not gonna have the administrative duties of a clerk for quite a while until Mindy's training is complete. Okay, so, you know, no different than when Mindy came in, we didn't swear her in first day. You know, Karen worked with her and reached a point to where Mindy took over. We got her sworn in for that position, so we're not prepared to give you all that authority at this particular time, Lisa, but it will come in time. Welcome to the team. Thank you very much, and appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Next, I have Clayton Parscale. Is that correct? Yep. Okay, gentlemen, Corey, this one's yours.
I'm asking the council to approve the hiring of Clayton Parscale as a part-time police officer. Similar situation, it'll allow Brett and I to be able to take vacations and sick times and stuff, which right now we're not able to do without covering each other's shifts.
Currently in the budget.
It's currently in the budget,
Okay, how much?
22,
And it'll start?
Thursday.
Okay, I need,
Are we talking the tall guy over here?
Clayton, currently, for those of you that don't know Clayton, he works for the Linn County Sheriff's Office full-time now. He's one of the school resource officers. Got quite a bit of experience, so.
Motion to allow Corey Merson to hire Clayton Parscale as a part-time police officer starting Thursday, the 21st, for a rate of $22 an hour.
I'll second that motion.
conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, welcome to the team,
You,
sir. Appreciate it.
I do believe
Again,
you have to swear him in.
Yeah.
we do have to swear him in, and I would like you to notify me. I'd like to be here for his swearing in.
Do it right now.
We can swear you in. Come on in, sir. Come right up front.
Raise your right hand.
We'll all take part in it. Thank you.
I state your name.
I, Clayton Parscale,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
faithfully discharge the duties of the police officer.
faithfully discharge the duties of a police officer.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clayton.
Thank you.
Is there an initiation process for new employees in the police department? Okay. Oh, you understand you can write us tickets, but be nice to our wives, please.
You could be mean to mine.
Oh, man, oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, real quick, with sewer report. Page 4, and, anybody have any questions regarding what, Mike Page has turned in here?
Like a pretty standard report.
Okay, if, there's no questions, we don't have to spend any more time on it. Let's move to, nuisance and building report. Steve, that's you.
All right, building reports, year to date, we've had 232 permits submitted. Out of that, 203 have been approved. Some of those are still waiting on things like surveys, deeds, et cetera. Inspections, in October, we had 45 for the month of October, 406 inspections to year to date. As far as business, we have 11 certified 10-day notices sent out in October. 3 of those were for skid sheds unlocked without permits, 1 in-off vehicle sanitation. We have 2 RVs on building lots after September the 30th. We had 1 junked RV. We had 2 RVs on 1 lot. We had 1 living structure under 600 square feet with somebody occupying that building, the unit. And we have 1 RV that's encroaching on the site. Any questions on either one, or?
Were the skid sheds after we made it, where you got to have permits now?
Yes.
Well, I think,
Any questions for Steve before I take us to this?
yeah, go ahead.
Anybody got any questions for Steve? Well, while we're right here talking about ordinances and stuff regarding skid sheds and the change of ordinances and the adoption of our own state statutes, one of the things, I have somebody this evening that would like the opportunity to speak. If you'd step up, let everybody know who you are. And from there, what we'll do is, explain to us the problem you have right now with, she's provided us some information. And the problem here is that she goes on the website, and the website's apparently giving her conflicting information, which you would look on the first page, it tells us one thing, but if we go to the
And
next,
the first page is
Go ahead.
just, the second page is what's on our website, and the third page is basically a copy of the first page. It's just taken different days. You can see on the, I think the first page was like November 2nd or 7th, and the second and third page are what's on there as of today. That was taken this morning. And it's just very confusing because we have all these things on the website that says, as a resident, you can do all this without a permit. One of those things is a fence. And the last page is a copy out of my 2006 codes book, which is supposedly what we're going by now, which says a 6-foot fence and under is where the exemptions that you don't have to have a permit for. And this was something that we fought the POA on, and it's been an ongoing issue for us because we're trying to put up fences that we go back from having a permit, not having a permit, and it just keeps going back and forth. But it's very confusing as a resident because this is what's on our website. This is what's on our city website when a resident goes in to check things. And it's like, I don't feel like as a resident, I should have to go through every single meeting that you guys have had to see if something changed because I'm looking at our building codes on our website, and that should be our Bible. So it's very confusing when it says one thing, then Steve's saying something else, and the meetings are saying something else.
well, I would almost bet you anything that absolutely nothing got changed between 11/2/24 and 11/18/24.
No, nothing did. I was just showing that that's what the website shows.
You
it's
see,
the first
so,
day I only got the
if
second
we
page.
if we
It's the day I
failed
went
the
back and did whole
motion,
thing.
if the council was failed the motion and ordinance, that once it was passed, it did not get to our web designer so that this could get put on our web page, then maybe it did not get put on there correctly. And I'd appreciate it very much you bring it to our attention so we can fix it if it's part of the public aggravation. You know, but for the most part, again, what I'm reading here is we're not changing these every 2 or 3. You're leaving us to believe in a statement that we're changing things as we will, and that's not taking place at all.
It's been changed at least 2 or 3 times in the last year, probably.
You see, so probably not. Probably unless Mindy was involved in it. I doubt that Karen's made any web changes, even after the last ordinance changed. So what we need to do is we need to research it, and we need to correct it if in an event it's wrong. And we'll do just that, so. Any council, any questions?
Yeah, the last page, that's from.
That's out of the 2006 code book, that's listed
Right.
exceptions to the building permit requirements.
And it says that you don't need one for a fence, not over 6 feet tall. So
That never changed.
well, we put fences back on, didn't we?
Yeah, that never changed.
Well, this right here is dated July 8th of this year, and we changed them back after that,
Correct,
so.
correct. Mindy, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and go back to the ordinance change and check the date on that, get a hold of our web designer, make sure that he gets a copy of that ordinance change so that we can get that on the web page. Did I say that correctly? Okay.
I'm talking about something different. Steve, do we require, permits for fences
Yes.
under 6 feet?
Okay.
Okay, well, then the building codes that we go by, International Residential Code, it says work exempt from permits, and it says fence is not over 6 feet on the last page, so we shouldn't have one for that, right?
Okay. What our ordinance does, when the city passes an ordinance, what it does, example being, we don't have to, based on our city size and what we do not have to adopt the entire statute of the state building code. What we did was adopted the base of that code book, and we made adjustments to our own ordinances that apply to our community. You know, so the state statute doesn't always say the same thing as a city ordinance might say. You know, contractors, I know you guys are contractors, and every city you go to, the rules are different. You have to take the time, stop, and check and see what those rules are. You know, with our city, those rules happen to have, there's a few rules that do and don't apply here too because of the small, you know, example being where in Overland Park in R1 areas, residential 1 areas, can you build a barn dominium? You see, so there's a lot of things and a lot of changes that are made within our own ordinances here that fits our community, not the state statute. So, but thank you for bringing it to our attention, and we need to do a better job of making sure this is clear if in fact, well, I'm sure you're correct. If this is what you found on our webpage didn't get changed in the last ordinance change. The fence part of it, I think, is, the answer to that is no, based on our ordinance, not the state statute. The state statute says that fence is not over,
It says fences under 6, you don't need a permit.
Right.
But you do need a permit for a fence under 6 in our
So.
city.
Well, I mean, how would you know the difference? You know, if you was looking through here, how would you know that the city was different, you know what I mean?
Because
I
the
guess
city's
you-
different than a lot of stuff from the state.
Well, I know, but how would you know what was different and which one to go by, or how to, or even to look, you know what I mean?
Well, your city ordinances are gonna override.
Right, I understand that, but I mean, you know, how would I know there was a different one from this? Where would I look?
we have to make sure it's correct on our webpage.
Right,
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's where it's at. So, because again, we do that. We ask people to refer to our webpage for our city codes and ordinances. So, you know what, it's important that we make sure that that particular tool that's out there for everybody is working.
I was trying to find the most recent copy of that ordinance. In our Dropbox.
Okay. Any other questions regarding this? Would that satisfy you if we get this fixed on the webpage? Okay. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Okay. Public safety report. Corey?
Yeah, my report, I don't have anything to add to it. If you don't have any questions about that.
Council, have any questions? Okay. Number 7, ordinance 267, cereal malt liquor beverage ordinance. The ordinance that is in front of you, the biggest change in the last conversation that we had was we thought that without the presence of building and codes, we thought that the number that would be applicable for an inspection would be $35. Well, I was way off, you know, it's 75. 25, right now, we charge $25 for a cereal malt liquor beverage application when we send that $25 straight to the state. We don't get to keep that. The question is Steve does an inspection and then he does usually requires a follow-up. Now my question is that should the city be charging 75 for that inspection, which is what we charge, and that would change that factor from 25 to 100, which 25 still goes to the state, and the city would be able to collect the 75 for the inspection fees and administrative process. Again, this is something the city has not charged in the past. It is something that we the next conversation's up to the council. It's, you know, do we not charge for this process, and what position do we want to take on the inspection process? Just collect the state's $25 and send it in and move on? Or do we actually take this application, send Steve up there to make sure that the facility is, he doesn't go in there to pick it apart, he goes in there to make sure that the safety things are done. The emergency exit lights are working, the emergency doors are free and clear of things, you know, general inspection type, general safety inspection stuff. So that's where the council is, I think, with the final approval of this, is what should that number be? And it's your decision. I'm suggesting that if we're going to inspect, we are going to inspect it, that we charge and we collect the $75 for the inspection fee, the same that I would charge, or we would charge a contractor if they were gonna be inspected. And Steve would do the same thing. He would go in with a step ladder, climb up, he would pull the hardwire device out of the wall and make sure it was wired in, it wasn't just a battery operated. He checks those things. So, you know, with that, that's just the public safety, you know. So, what's council's thought on this discussion?
So how many licenses do we actually give out now, or
Just two.
two? Okay. And both of them have already applied and been approved, right?
The Lake Shop has, Pro Shop is coming up
Yeah.
next month.
For sure.
Myself, I don't see a problem with not losing money, but, you know, break it even. Go ahead and do the raise. It's my fault.
For sending Steve out,
I
you
know.
know.
What's that? I don't know. I don't see why we would do a detailed inspection like that for a alcohol license. But that's just me.
It's for the on-prem, right?
Huh?
It's for the on-premises. So, potential of them actually being there in the building drinking is why we would need
Okay,
it.
so you answered my question.
Can we not be in the inspection business when it comes to cereal malt liquor beverage?
That's a bad idea. Still think you want to do.
If we're issuing a license, does that not say that the city has done its due diligence to say that this person should be allowed to do so?
I think you are correct, but I also think you still want to do that inspection.
That's what I'm saying, I think that'd be part of the due diligence to
Correct.
say, this person.
So with doing the inspection, we're looking at $100, you say?
Be $150 a year, be 2 license a year times 2 right now. So,
No, I mean,
It'd be 100 for this license.
150.
oh, yeah, total 100, yes, sir.
Yep.
What would happen, it used to be 25, and
Yeah.
all we did was collect the state's money and used to send it in. Okay, well, with the last few we've been going through and experiences and discovery, it's the question comes to, Steve went and done an inspection, and I'm going, okay, how'd we do that? When 25 go, we collect 25, 25 goes to the state. So it's just a suggestion on my part, you know, based on,
Well, I motion
we
that
don't
we
have it.
raise the alcohol fee to $100. The permit fee.
I think we just would have to accept this ordinance. That's the way it's written.
That's what
Well,
it
you,
says.
yeah, that's what we'll do right here, so. Any other conversation about the cost? Tommy, how about you? Any questions?
No, I think we
Regarding
should,
it?
I agree, we should raise it.
I'll tell
Bottom
you,
of page 5.
every penny, you know, businesses, it's like the city, like my business, it's even the people that want to liquor business, every penny that you have to expend, it adds up, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's like people go get a McDonald's every day and they get a Coke. They're like, well, that's, I don't know what it is now, it's something stupid. But it used to be $1. You go every day for $1 and you add it up for the year, it adds up, right? It's no different in the business, but the flip side to it also is, it's also a product of doing business in the city. I think it is important based on what they're gonna be doing, that they get inspected.
It's highlighted on page 5
I
at the
see
bottom.
What I'd like is, I need a motion to approve the changes at hand, the changes based on cost for ordinance 267, cereal malt liquor beverage.
Can we not just motion to adopt ordinance 267 as written?
You can.
Motion to adopt ordinance 267, regulating the sale of cereal malt beverage and beer containing more than 6% alcohol by volume within the city of Linn Valley, Kansas, and repealing ordinance 200.
I'll second that.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay. Have a couple projects to discuss, water and sewer naturally. We met with Lacine last week. Mindy, Richard, myself, and Robert went, who was available. And we had went down, and Lacine just wanted a update meeting. You know, for the most part, they were anticipating revenue probably before now. And with that, they wanted to know where we stood with our water agreement and if there was any changes. With that, they've also asked us to write a letter that they'll need to receive before December 1st. Mindy and I are preparing that letter and we'll send it out to everybody before we send it down. But it's just a reaffirmation of what we've obligated ourselves to. One of the things I'll remind everybody is that when we finally get water here, as soon as they put a gallon of water in the water tower, our obligation to them will be the purchase of 12 million gallons. You know, we'll purchase 12 million gallons up front. It pays for itself, but that's our obligation to this agreement. So, as you might expect, predicting you were gonna receive $64,000 in water income, you know, become a question to them. So, we had the meeting. Don't know who all knows, you know, Deborah Wilson, the mayor, was there, Tommy Cap, Dave Brenneman, Dan Nassau Road, and Jody Wade, the clerk. Deborah Wilson, Jody Wade. With us, I told you who was there, along with Mindy. B&G, Jason Hodkins and Aaron Castro was there. This is what B&G's confirmed. The plan is complete, turned into KDHE, turned into the USDA. Approximately 30 days to advertise bids, approximately 30 days to review bids. Should be approved and awarded by early 2025. They anticipate this to be a 2-year project depending on contractor. And a tower connection. What they're going to be asking is a couple different things. One, we're going to have to get a water operator. So do we hire one, or do we look at someone like Page Enterprise right now is doing several water districts? You know, so is that the more affordable thing than taking on a part-time employee for that department? It's in the budget and in the project to do it, so the affordability is not really an issue here. It's an added employee. How will we occupy 4 hours of his time? Because what'll happen is there'll be a connection between Lacine and our tower based on data shared. Pressure's up, they are down, or, you know, the diagnostics of the tower, water quality, and those things like that, or everything's automatically sent down to Lacine, being they're our water distributor. So they kind of want to be not interconnected, they want to be connected, okay, which is, I don't know, it's something that sounds unreasonable to me based on, you know what, we'll document water use that way too, the amount of waters that we use. Which brings us to, we got to come up with a water plan. That water plan has to do with the anticipated amount of water that the fire department may need to use for training, or they may have had a fire and used an abundant amount of water, or as the cities, we fill pools. The POA is going to need to contact and let everybody, give everybody fair warning that we're going to be using more water and why, so that they can keep up with our usage. Because if you'd have read the county paper last week, there was a real detailed article based on, you know, their water program down there. You know, they're looking to sell 94 million gallons of water annually. So, you know, our water usage is part of that arithmetic, which is part of their projects, which is why everybody's in the water business with the state. So, wasn't any surprises as far as I know. We need to discuss the ordinance regarding Holden Hall, and we'll also have to share that and get that worked out with KDHE also. Okay, because, you know, part of our obligation under this grant is that we cannot sell water privately. Okay, so we have to work through some kind of agreement, short term or long term. POA hasn't told us that yet, and how we're going to make these provisions for them to haul our water. Now, the way Lacine describes it is that once it leaves their plant, you know what, they're not responsible. They're not responsible for the old water lines in your house or the old tanks that you're using or things of those natures. Again, that's why we need to look into our ordinance, and we need to firm it up and see how we want to try to obligate this ordinance based on, this is gonna be new for us. And new first is gonna become the holding hall. You know, once we get water in that tower simultaneously, we hope they have that holding hall ready, you know what, and we're selling, well, we know over 50% of our water goes through that the volume goes through that holding hall. So with that in mind, we have more work to do. So just giving the council a quick update. If you give me a chance to get the letter ready, we'll let everybody see it before we send it. And you guys can weigh in with any questions and anything you have before we get it down there. So,
You know, it's actually part of our contract that we kept them updated at this point, basically.
well, it was, but we had Paul who obligated himself at that point in time to be that interconnection. So, you know, we lost Paul. We don't have that interconnection. Paul separated from Lacine long before he did with us. We were the last people he separated from, but there's a Abby that takes care of their water and sewer project. Any questions?
Mayor, will you take
Sure.
questions from here?
Brief.
My name's Al Sanchez. I live at 126 Kansas Drive, and I also have building a house at 149 Linn Valley Boulevard. My question is, was the water grant, and I think some residents have these questions, was the intention of the city to assist residents in affording affordable water meters?
Is correct.
Okay, and two, of the submitted lots for water meter service, did the grant assist transfer from a lot owner to a new owner?
No, sir.
Okay, so is there a limit to the grant of the number of lots submitted, or is there a dollar amount for such grants?
Actually, there is the grant was broke down into the program was put together based on, when this was put together back in 2017, okay, this started, 60% of the people that are here right now was not here then. I mean, this place is just boomed. Maybe, I don't know how long you've lived here or you've had a lot, but I've been here 15 years and I'm telling you, it's astronomical. There's just, so the program got started and our obligation to the grant was we were going to utilize X amount of money to put in a water system here. Okay, with that money, we obligated ourselves to Holden Hall. We obligated ourselves to meters. We had city meters and we had rural water meters. At that particular time, we literally was able to put all 300 on this program. Okay, and since then, and maybe before it's over, we can obligate and add more to it. Right now, we're way too early in the project. We're not a fourth way through the project, and it'd be hard to determine that we could obligate ourselves to 70 or 100 or 150 more meters. So I wouldn't give up on that idea. But as far as how it was determined very fairly, and it was done by the residents that existingly was here. Okay, so we didn't have this big growth boom. We didn't have, I mean, let's see, over 250 lots have been sold over the last couple of years. You know, we didn't have all of this movement and all this activity, 400 and some permits a year. This all took place after 2019, and there was no way to predict what was going to happen based on the initial cost analysis of this project that was submitted in 2017. So, you know, it's a history lesson, everybody. You're catching up to a project that got started 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, and, there's a lot of people that didn't get included to it. Answer any other questions, sir? And if I can't, somebody.
Transparency to new residents, whether they're here now or were here 15 years ago. It's important for us to know, the new residents, what, because no one can tell you what that meter's going to cost you. They
Well, we
couldn't tell you
do-
in 2017, and they can't tell you now.
We do know that it's not gonna cost the $5,000 rural water one wants to charge you. You know, our anticipated cost is that our meters should be well affordable. We're not in the money-making business. John knows a little bit more about purchasing meters than I would, but John, go ahead.
But actually, Mayor, you were wrong about transferable, because I bought my house and the people that had it before already had the meter there, and I'm on the list. So it
I think
has.
if the
Okay,
house was permanently
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
Okay, so when we set these lots, they're set by lots and addresses.
The way they went is, if you were on rural water one with a
Correct.
meter, or if you were on POA water with a meter, or if you were a Holden Hall customer, that's the
That
initial
was
people they
full-time.
did.
Yes, sir.
That was a full-time resident. Not
Yeah,
all
as
of
a
Right.
full-time resident, yes.
And there's a list of the lots right there.
Have you
For
seen the
those
list
who-
on
I've seen the list.
Did you?
And I'm taking you're not on that list is why you're here tonight.
What I wanna know, I mean, just the transparency of it.
The transparency is that this project, when we got the monies for this project 7 years ago, there was no way for us to anticipate the growth and put everybody on it that was going to move in after the fact and hope that that would be the fact. If you were one of these transferable lots, the lot number would have been listed as a full-time resident, and it would be over there on that chart.
But a lot more of your questions will be answered if you watch our last town hall, because this was discussed a lot in the town hall.
Thank you.
There's gonna be more we know for sure there's gonna be more meters that we can give out. We just can't tell you how many more.
We don't know yet. We get further along in the we have some positive things that are gonna happen. Coming from Lacine, at least to the base of the hill over here, is all, floodplain. So that's mostly sand, suet, loose soil, so we're gonna come across there quick and probably very affordable. Then we're gonna hit the rock at the bottom of the hill. Things are gonna slow down quite a bit, but depending on how we progress and how well our contractors actually work for us, we'll come to the end of this project with a little bit of luck with money savings. Some of these projects will come in $1 million ahead. The council will have many opportunities to weigh in on decisions in the future based on affordability and cost, and what would we do with that extra money if we had it? The other thing that we can do, which we've done, that we didn't have any success at, we applied for a couple small city infrastructure loans for water and sewer. And we didn't get either one of them, but you know, as we continue to apply for these grants, maybe we're gonna get one of them, and that'll help with the installation of meters, along with.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to point out one thing.
Please.
There will be people out there that'll say, oh, if it came in $1 million under budget, then why don't you put that money back? Because we can't. We have to spend the loan money before we can touch the grant money. That's just the way the government works. That's the way the USDA is set up. So that's why we were talking, if you go back to that meeting, we were talking about if there's money left over at the end, we might as well buy meters for people because it's free money. And there's no way that we can use it any other way except for the project.
That's what we're hoping for anyway.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every time I see a water tank going in the ground here, I kinda cringe, and I hope that the new property owner is doing his due diligence of finding this stuff out. I mean,
I just spent $30,000 on tanks.
yeah.
So I know
feel you.
all about
Understand.
rocks also.
I understand that, sir.
I feel you.
What John was referring to was when we went to get this grant, it was a 55% loan, okay? 55% was our grant, and 45% was,
45 was the grant.
45 was the grant, 55 was forgiven. Okay, so that's what he's referring to, that we have to spend that 40, that
We have to spend our
55%
55% loan
first.
before we can touch the
Correct.
free money.
Correct, so that's what again, which where the money is, it's how the money got borrowed so that we could do this project. The purpose of this project was there was a POA side, south side of the lake, run on one water system, which run off a plant that pulls off of the lake that makes approximately 10,000 gallons a day based on a community that knocks down a ton of water a day. The other side of it was Rural Water One. Rural Water One done the makeup for the water plant. So there was and that water plant is not the future for this community. It's old, it's worn, it's all those things. These are conversations that it's how we got here, and I can tell that, you know what, you weren't part of those conversations, and we'll share as many of them as we can with you.
I would also mention that on our website, under the water project section, we have the town hall information and frequently asked questions, which covers 90% of the stuff we've discussed in the town hall meeting. I think all but really the list of meters. And that's now out there as well, isn't it?
Are you gonna be a full-time resident here, or are you now?
I am a full-time resident, have been for a while.
Okay.
I would just ask, if you're not a full-time resident, then you don't need a meter, or you ain't required to get one.
Yeah.
I know that don't do you any good now.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
No, thank you very much.
You're real welcome. Again, glad we was able to answer questions. Council, thanks for being patient to do this. Sewer project, we don't have any updates based on the sewer project from the last time. Everything is at the state right now. We're waiting for final approval on that. And once it comes down, it could actually go quicker than the water project at this point in time. So an update with the water project is we're completed with all the easements. They're not waiting on us for anything. And we're right now, we're just waiting to finish up with the county, with going down, filing everything with the county and getting county filings to B&G and USDA, and we're done. Jamie and I, he has 2 letters of legal he has to sign, and I have 1. And it's just project, just project commitment. So, Jamie, you have anything? Mindy, you have anything?
Connie, you have anything?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, don't,
I've been
got
following
it,
this
Connie,
forever.
I'm sorry, I'll make sure we get you included. Okay, real quick here, would like to, old business, city security, and cameras. At first, just want the council to weigh in, would like to invest, Mindy and Brett have looked into a security system with cameras. It's much like it's exactly like the one the police department is using with the golf course and the POA's cameras. And I would like to spend $3,700 to put this security camera system, bring it up to speed and get it online. So it's operational cost. We are in a time and era that I have employees that don't want to be here alone. I mean, as if there's not enough ugliness in the world, it's on Facebook. If that's not enough, it's on the news.
So on here it says 35, but you're saying 37?
It's 37, yes, sir.
We had a few incidents, didn't we, here recently?
We have, and it's not, you know, we live in a, not to be derogatory or negative, we live in an open carry state. People sometimes forget to unsaddle. We live in a world of a lot of concealed carries, you know, and concealed carries aren't as much concealed carry anymore when people are standing there arguing with you and,
Yeah.
you know, here's where their hand is. And we have had incidents, and I need to protect the employees, and my other alternative is to shut down City Hall, and it'd be by appointment only.
Well, I motion that we allow the mayor to use $3,700 to get the camera system put in.
I would second that.
Conversation?
The only thing I would add is I did contact ADT because I was trying to get a store we could have multiple bids to compare. They would not actually come out here without like a scheduled appointment to do a whole bunch of things, and there was some potential cost to that, just to get a quote. And when I looked into it a little further, it basically came out somewhere between $3,000 and $7,000 depending, is basically what it said. So not wanting the full alarm system and all that.
And we're not entering into any agreement or contract with anyone for this system.
Just for the installation.
Okay. I have on the floor, I have a motion. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Passed. Thank you, council. Okay. Anyone else have old business? Anybody have any new business? With that being said, I would entertain a motion for a 10-minute executive session regarding contractual discussion and trade secrets. And we would return at 7:06.
Motion to move to a 10-minute contractual legal executive session to return at 7:06 p.m.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 7:06, bring the meeting back to order. No action taken. Okay, anything else with new business for council? Audience? Okay, with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
Meeting. Michael wants to spend the night. Yes, sir.
Mindy,